Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So I'm doing another streaming video, obviously, and I've chosen another great game. The one that I used to play a lot of on my Commodore 64 when I was a kid, and that was Impossible Mission. And I think the reason why I played this game a lot was the way that the game changes every time you play it. All the levels switch around. Well, they're not really levels. It's more like the elevator shafts, the different rooms. It all switches, it randomizes pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say. It randomizes every time you play it. So every time you play it, it's a different game. And you know, that always intrigued me because a lot of games I was used to were like pattern games. You get the pattern down, you understand the way you're going to play it, and that's the way it worked, right? I mean, you play Donkey Kong, you know that's what you're going to get. This was different for me at the time. Playing games like this was much different. We didn't have things like, you know, I don't know. Like even when Nintendo came out, a lot of the games were pretty much straightforward. You played them the same way every time you played them, and you know, once you beat the game, you beat the game, and so. Playing a game like this was always refreshing that it would randomize. Now, I just want to throw a fun fact out there for some of these, some viewers and people who might watch this video, if they're not too familiar with the version of this game that came out for the Atari 7800. And it's kind of a funny thing because it got released in North America on the 7800, the Atari 7800, which was like the Atari's equivalent to the Nintendo NES. And the programmer, I guess, when he built the game or whatever, he didn't realize that there was a bug in the game. And so when it got released and sold to people, the game actually was impossible to beat. And that's funny. It's kind of like an ironic twist that you could not actually beat the game. And here's why. There was a slight bug that... So if you know the game, if you don't know the game, what happens is you're in a building, there's map pieces, there's pieces of a solution that will crack a code to stop the evil... I think his name is Elvin Adam Bender, something like that. And he wants to, like, nuke this building and stuff. And so he hid the pieces are hidden throughout the building. And when you find all these little puzzle pieces, put it together, you get the code, you go to his room, and you shut him down, essentially. So in the Atari 7800 version, there's a bug that hides the pieces in areas you cannot search. Like there's computer terminals and stuff like that where your character literally cannot search it. And so the game is impossible. And I didn't find that out until I actually bought a ton of 7800 games, and one of them was in there. And I put a post out on, I think, Facebook or something, and people were like, oh, it's too bad you can't complete the game. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I learned it at that point. I'm like, oh, that sucks. And I wanted to find out for myself. So when I actually got the game, I actually put it in my 7800, and I kept playing it and playing it. And I got to the point where, yeah, it's true. You get to a point where you cannot go any further. You cannot physically complete the game. So the game is literally impossible, which lives up to his name. Now, they did fix it, I believe, for the PAL version. In North America, we run on the NTSC. And then in overseas they run on PAL, which is a different kind of frequency or whatever. And so when they created the game for the European market, they fixed it, which kind of sucks because we're still left with the version that doesn't work. I think there was a fix, like a hack or homebrew or something that was created that fixed the problem. But yeah. It's funny. I just wanted to lead with that because it was something I learned a lot later on, and I was more tuned to the Commodore 64 version, which I've completed many times. So I'm just going to check who's in the chat right now because there's a lot of great people here. So we got Simon Belmondo, always on the chat. We got Billy O, and we got Let's go down the list here. We got Josh Rainwater, Rex Warden, and who else? Anybody else? I'm sure we'll get some more people in as we go on. Hope everybody's doing well tonight, and they like the pick that I've decided to play. I just felt like playing. You know, I've been playing a lot of Zelda stuff, so I decided to like let's go back to doing a little bit more in Commodore 64, and Impossible Mission was one I haven't yet really done a live play on. I did. Sorry, I don't want to speak. I always love that part. But yeah, I decided to do this. I actually did a video on Impossible Mission a long time ago. Whoops. And I think I completed it too in the video, but I did some editing and stuff like that. And it was more just like talking about the game itself. Now, the one thing I have to say is I'm not really used to playing this with a gamepad, which is what I'm using right now on the PC. I'm used to using my Atari controller joystick. So if I make a lot of mistakes, it's probably, well, maybe going to be because of the controller I'm using. Because I'm just not used to the gamepad. There we go. So what I did was I literally just searched everything in the room, and then I'm moving on to the next room. I just love how, you know, this is an Epix game. Epix is the company that made this. And the guy that you're operating, he kind of looks like a lot of the Epix characters you'd see in other games, like summer games, winter games, and a few other things where the person kind of looks the same. I always thought that was kind of fun. It's like you get used to... Whoa! Just ran into a stream of death. Oh, so Simon Belmondo is asking, is the NES version the exact? If you're referring to the NES version of Impossible Mission, I don't think there is one. There's an Impossible Mission 2, which I actually do have for the NES. And I did play it a long time ago when I was a kid. My friend had it on the Commodore 64. He bought it. And I remember playing a lot of it back then. Whoa. Charcoal. But, whoa. Okay, I'm off to a bad start here. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go up here. This is gonna be a tough one. I don't know if I can get by this guy. Might have to sleep the room. And what that means is you literally put all the robots to sleep by going into a computer terminal like this. Temporarily disable robots in this room, yes. What they call a snooze. And then I can roam freely through the room. The robots won't hurt me, they won't do nothing, and I got a puzzle piece. You see, this is where it's important in this game. If you miss puzzle pieces, you can't complete the code at the end, which means you can't win the game. And this is what I'm saying. In the Atari 7800 version of this game, some of the pieces are hidden behind, like, the terminal, the computer that I put the robot to sleep with. You can't search that. So if there's a piece there, you're out of luck. It's kind of a bug. The Impossible Mission 2, very similar to this game. You still have to go around a building, you have to search items. Oops. Oh, I'm doing horrible. The more you die, the more your time runs out, and the closer you are to the bomb detonating, which is not good. Oh, jeez. I think there's a delay in this, too. I'm not sure what it is, but there's a certain amount of time that you can die before it's going to be too late that you can't even complete the game, which would really suck. The only difference with Impossible Mission 2, I think, is that instead of finding... Okay, I'm just doing too horrible. I think I'm going to have to reset. So let's do a soft reset. It's just going to take me a while. I don't want to start off that bad that I'm dying every second. Let's attach this. In Impossible Mission 2, instead of getting puzzle pieces, you're getting music pieces that you have to string together to make a song. And it's in the same kind of regards where you're going in the elevators and stuff like that. The same bad guy that you're after, Adam Bender, or whatever his name is. Same idea. Nice score. Reset. Okay, let's do this again. See if I don't die every 5 seconds. I'm not going to keep resetting it, so if I keep dying, whatever, that's just going to be what it is. Just felt that there seemed to be some delay with the controller there. Oops, that was me. That was entirely me. Okay, this guy's going to be a tough one. Because he's already shooting when you come down, so you got to be really fast with him. As long as he hasn't reached the end of the platform, he won't shoot. And that's the big thing about this game, is understanding how the robots think. Once you understand how the robots think, the game kind of makes sense. Yeah, Impossible Mission 2 for the NES is pretty good. I mean, I remember when I bought it, I didn't even know it existed, and I saw it in, like, it was, like, used in one of those bins, probably in, like, Kmart or something. I knew I was going to die there. I didn't, you know, spend a whole lot of money on it. The one thing I was kind of disturbed about it is they kind of changed the graphics a little bit. I'm so used to the Commodore 64 graphics. Oh, now this is an interesting room. So, what this is it allows you to get your 2 items for your computer. So you can either get a snooze, what I talked about earlier, where put the robots to sleep, or reset the lifts, which are those little elevator things I move up and down on. Sometimes you get into a position where the elevators are up and you need them down to get on it. So they put this game in where you gotta kind of like you know, the highest pitch to lowest. So you gotta listen to it and go on the lowest pitch first, and work your way down the scale. So lowest. Eventually, it just becomes too hard. Okay, so I think it's this. No. Yeah, they all start to sound the same after a while. Okay, I think I'm done. You can sit there all day trying to, like, you know, I'm not the greatest when it comes to picking out tones. At some point I think I'm kind of tone deaf. This level always seems to be hard, but it looks like the the robot down there doesn't do anything. He just kind of goes back and forth really slow. So he's kind of easy to get. He's kind of like the best one you can get. Oh, never mind. He fooled me. When he sees you, he comes running at you. Yeah, the NES port. Billy O was asking about the NES port. It is Impossible Mission 2. There is no, as far as I'm concerned, or that what I know, there is no Impossible Mission 1 on the Nintendo. They literally just started on Impossible Mission 2. It actually says that it's Impossible Mission 2, so they don't try and pass it off as the first one. But, you know, that's around the Nintendo days. You expected that. A lot of the games would be sequels. You wouldn't even have the first game. Okay, that's an easy robot there. He just goes back and forth. So that symbol I got there, that was a lift. Kind of the picture of those little lifty elevators I walk on, and it has an arrow going up. That resets the lift. And each time I search these things, you'll see like this. This is a puzzle piece. And eventually, when you get to the end or near the end, you'll have a ton of them, and you have to kind of stack a bunch of them together until they make a solid square, like a puzzle. And then when you do that, you'll get a letter, and once you get enough letters, it spells out a word, and that's your password to deactivate the system. And you have to find Alvin's room, which is, you know, eventually you come across it. It's a room and it's got a doorway in it. You'll notice it. You just got to remember where it is, because every time you play this game, it shuffles, right? So it's going to be at a random spot. It could be in any elevator shaft, in any area, up or down. You don't know where it's going to be. So when you find it, you just got to make note, like a mental note, like, oh, it's down here. I think I'm going to have to go up. Okay. Quickly. You can walk across those little holes. You gotta walk fast, but you can do it, and it's actually required in this game to know how to do this, walking across a space like that. There's a few levels that require you to do that. You literally just run and... Ooh, this level again. And the levels always have random robots too, so that always changes every time you play this game. So when you see this level again in another game, the robots are all going to be behaving differently. Which is another thing that makes it more challenging, right? You never know. Like this guy, he's going to be a pain in the butt because he just likes to shoot. And so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go here. Whoa, no, it's not going to happen. Which means I won't be able to complete this unless I put the robot to sleep again. But I don't have a password. Oh no. Here's where more memory comes in. Where you gotta, like, remember the areas you've been at that you didn't complete. It looks like we got a C64 television in the chat. Destroy him, my robots. Yeah, that's true. So far, he hasn't said that. Throughout this game, Elvin will actually talk. And, it's funny, I remember when I was a kid, I never could understand what he was saying half the time. I was just kind of like, well, what was he saying? Okay, this is Elvin's room. So if you go and search that bottom space down there, nothing's going to happen. Okay, this guy's staring right at me. There's no way I'm going to get that. No big deal. I mean... Oh, toast. Okay. So now I have to remember that this bottom area, the second shaft bottom area, is where Elvin is. And that room above there might have a piece, this room, that I can't get to that typewriter. So I need to get some, what do you call it, snoozes. That black ball thing usually doesn't do anything. It just floats around. Most of the time you can just have him ram into a robot and he disappears. There is one or two rooms where it's just that little black ball thing floating around. It doesn't do anything. I mean, I've been killed by him a few times, but because sometimes he'll trap you and what are you gonna do? Like right here. Usually you just go up and you're like, yeah, whatever. You just sit there. It doesn't do anything. Nothing here. Snooze. Oh, okay, I needed that snooze. And more pieces. Whoops. That's okay. So maybe I'll go down and complete that one now that I have the snooze. That guy was giving me a hard time. So let's... You gotta be fast because it doesn't last the whole time you're here. It does run out. Whoops. Whoops. Which means you gotta hurry. Especially when... Oh. All that just to get another snooze. Oh well. What are you gonna do? Okay, this guy is just a timing thing. You just gotta watch when he shoots. When he's done, jump down. Jacob Downey just jumped into the chat. How's he? Howdy y'all. How's it going? Oh, I love these robots. They just sit there. They don't do anything. They just watch you. Almost like he's deactivated. I don't know how easy it's going to be getting out of here, though. I don't even know if it's going to be possible with that one at the top there. I don't know if I'll be able to jump over him without being zapped. Same with this guy. I think I have to put these guys to sleep just to get out of here. Or I have to die, because if I jump up on that ledge, he's going to come running at me. Oh, maybe I can do that. Okay, let's just try. Oh. Misjumped. Okay, well, let's just keep going. So in here, okay, I can see I'm already at the 1 hour mark. Can't remember how high it goes. It's like 6 or something like that, and then you blow up. So this will tell me my snoozes, 1, and my lift inits, whatever that's supposed to mean. And those are my lifts. So if I ever have to like reset my lifts, that's what I can do. Oh, Ben. Yeah, so that was him talking. Ah yes, this is the room I called the bathroom. I think I had a lot of names for a lot of the rooms. Because there's a toilet here, it looks like I'm taking a leak. I'm not. That's like a bathroom sink there. This could take a while. There's actually a garbage can there, I think, and a bathroom sink. I think they're two different things. Just kind of gotta run in, search, run out. Nothing there. Just a waste of time. Nothing there. And search the bathtub. I got a snooze. Snoozes are very valuable in this game. Mad scientist crapper. Elvin and his crapper. Alright, let's go. Okay, I have to look for one room that'll let me cross. That's not one. Only certain rooms let you go through to the other elevator level. This one will. So I'm going to push this guy down through the floor, and then he'll pop up through the ceiling. Because, you know... Whoa! I just fell to my death. That was not cool. Not cool at all. And that's one thing I definitely have to say about the Atari 7800 version. The talking is gone. Like, well, not gone. It just doesn't exist. They couldn't make it talk. Which was part of the magic of this game. You know, another visitor, stay a while, stay forever. Ooh. The screaming, yelling noise he makes when he falls down a hole. Wow, this one's tough. I don't know if I'm gonna do this. Rap. This one's gonna be hard. He shoots really fast too. Okay, let's see if I can do this with them asleep. I'm gonna try anyways. Oops. Hurry up, hurry up. Ah, last one too. Do I have any more? Okay. Gonna have to waste my last one on this one. Hopefully it's not a nothing there. Ah, jeez. Wasted my snooze. And I just, like, dented my time. I got 0 snoozes left, too. Run! Alright, this level's not too tough. Nothing. Now normally, after I start collecting all these pieces, I don't... nothing in this room at all. I don't really start worrying about trying to put them all together. Like, you can go through the list right now, look at all your pieces, and start putting them together. But I don't see a point in doing that earlier on, because you're still missing a ton of pieces. So what's the point? This one always gives me a hard time. It's just the placement of the platforms. It's an unfortunate thing to... Oh, okay. This is where I have to reset the lifts. It's an unfortunate thing too, because you never know when the robots are going to be positioned in a way that you cannot pass through them. And you have to, like, snooze. Like this. Like, how am I supposed to deal with this guy? Whew, that was close. Now I have to go with this guy who's just, like, going really fast. Timing was off. Just gotta get that last fireplace that's just sitting up there. How did I do it last time? I think I waited until I turned around. And I did that. Right. And all that for a lift. Well, that's depressing. Two minutes in. Eek. Now what happens is, once it reaches, I think it's 6 minutes.
Destroy him, my robot.
Yeah, destroy me. Whatever. If you don't beat the game within that time limit, pretty much Alvin just laughs at you while he blows up everything. And then it's game over. Nothing there. And the one thing I got excited about was a company made this. I can't remember the name of the company now, but they pretty much rebuilt this game for modern systems. So I have the one for the Wii, which is kind of interesting. Now the problem is, I only have the Wiimote, and playing this with the Wiimote is a little hard. Like, you use it like a regular, oh shoot, Nintendo controller through most of it. But for some of the other things, you have to use the Wiimote and point it at the screen like you would with, you know, a typical point the Wiimote, and it's a little bit fidgety, which makes the game a little bit trickier. But they did two variants of it where they kind of copied this one, and then they did another variant where they amped up the graphics. Plus they added 2 more characters. Each has their own little special abilities, kind of like when you play Super Mario Bros. 2. And you can choose a different character that has, like, one can jump better than the other, or... Crap. What's this guy doing? I'm gonna... Run! This guy's like Mr. Flippy Man. He can do jump flips in the air like there's no tomorrow. Oh no, that's wrong. Find this one, I almost always have to use a snooze. Platforms are so awkward. Although, I don't know, maybe this one I might be able to do it. Crap. Let's go, come on, come on, come on. Oh, it's such a big search, too. Well, it's a bookshelf. He has to look in every single friggin' book. This might take a while. I see Gamester Poet saying it's his favorite on the C64, one of the top 3 on the platform. I have to agree with you. This was definitely a must-play if you owned a Commodore 64. I know this exists on a lot of other computers, but I think the C64 did the best when it came to this one. It had the right graphic capabilities, the right sound chip, had the voice module piece for it. Even the Nintendo paled in comparison, I think. Oh, crud. Oh no, he ran at me. Alright, sleepy you go. Usually I know when it's not going to happen. I have to put them to sleep. This thing, it wouldn't happen. Not doing very good this game. I seem to be dying a lot. Okay, so this guy is either gonna, whoops, charge at me, or he's just gonna sit there. He charged at me. Alright, so I'm gonna have to wait till he charges at me, and hope he doesn't turn around. Okay. Some of them will just charge at you, and then reset. Others will actually charge at you, and when you jump over them, immediately turn around and charge back the same direction you're going in. And those often kill you the most. This is tricky. You've got to not fall through the cracks. There we go. Because if you fall through the cracks, you'll notice the lift over there is stuck up there. Then you have to go all the way down and reset the lift. And if you don't have a lift reset, you're kind of screwed. Oh, okay, so I have to go through the other side now. I'm gonna look for a, not this one, anything but this one. Okay, I think I can handle this. Run! Okay, there we go. I'm out. Yeah, Games for Poet. Yeah, I was already talking about that in the beginning, about the 7800 version, and it is funny. It's funny how, or ironic, that the glitch actually made the game impossible. Okay, so I'm at the very top, and I even tested it myself because I didn't believe it at first, and I literally found every single item in the game, and I still needed, like, I think 3 more map pieces to get there. And I was like, yep, it's true. It's true. But they did, like I said in the beginning of this stream, they did correct it for the European release. So the PAL version. So there's, like, you know, North America is NTSC. And so all of our games and movies and all that stuff are NTSC or whatever. And in Europe, it's PAL, P-A-L. And so when they released it in Europe, before they released the game, they fixed the bug. Ooh, that sucked. And so apparently you can complete the game in that version of it. And I believe there was a kind of a fixed version that was released. Ow. Okay, this is terrible. I'm gonna put these guys to sleep. And I don't have a freaking password. Okay, let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna have to pay attention to the guy up there. Nope, nope. This is too hard. Oh my god, I'm losing all my men on this one level. Come on. Alright. I'll come back to... Oh, jeez, I'm already at 3. It's not good. Not good at all. Oh, that's good. Okay, I'm going to use this computer. Oh, it's got to be lowest to highest. There we go. Okay, so I must have got at least one snooze out of that. Because when you play it once, you either get a snooze or a lift. So if you play it twice, you get one of each. So I'm going to put them to sleep, and I'm going to run my ass up there. And search as fast as freaking oh no. No, no, no. No, 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 no. Ooh. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's not lose it now. There we go. I hate when I run out of time and then you wasted your snooze. Alright, where am I? 3 minutes. Or hours. Whatever. I think it's going by hours. Okay, stereo equipment. I got this. Hopefully this guy doesn't shoot. I don't think he does. I think he's just a follower bot. He just follows you and follows you until you stop. which is good, because it didn't shoot. Some of them might actually get to the end and then shoot, so I don't know. Whatever. I'm just gonna keep on going. At least I got a snooze, so I got 1 snooze, and I got 8 lifts, so I don't have to worry about lifts for a long time. That's usually not a problem in most cases, but it does suck when it happens and you need to reset a lift and you don't have it. Nothing here. Over to this cigarette machine. I think these are typewriters or something along those lines. You have to remember this is like a 1980s game. So it's using a lot of 80s technology, like typewriters and cigarette machines. This guy's going slow, but the good news is when he turns around and goes backwards, I'll have plenty of time to get those, whatever those are, typewriters or fax. I don't think they're fax machines. I don't know. I don't know if people were really utilizing faxes at this time, and I don't know. Oh, maybe. It could be. I don't know. Computer printers. Ah, okay. Gamester poet saying they're computer printers. That could make sense. There are computers. They're all just kind of sitting around doing nothing. Teletype machines. Whee! Yeah, punk kids don't know your tech. Rex Warden is like schooling us. Actually, for my Commodore 64, had a okay, I think I might be back on. Just chatting with some people here. Are we back? I think I'm back. I think my I don't know what went on there. It's like my internet just like blah and just died on me. So I paused the game. Yay. We're back. Okay. I just want to make sure my studio's okay. Looks like everything's back up. The joys of live streams. Okay, so let's unpause this so I can. Whew, that was a weird thing that just happened there. I just saw this like little thing pop up on my computer, like you're now disconnected. I'm like, what? Disconnected? Okay, this one. Okay, that guy's easy, so I'm just going to jump over him, and I'm going to get to the bed. This level's kind of tricky. You have to do a this weird jump to get up to this platform. This the one above the fireplace. You kind of have to walk on the air for about a half a second, and then jump. It's really weird. Like, I don't know. You almost can't notice the difference, but when you play the game, you'll see it. Like, you actually have to run slightly off the platform and then jump. Otherwise, you won't make the jump. I find that this game is full of these things. Like, learning how to really manipulate the guy to either walk across a certain platform or make a certain kind of jump. Oh, okay. Must think if that's your bed. I mean, yeah, you can go to sleep after you do this incredible spinning jump. That might lead you to death. Okay, so this is the only room here. That's interesting. I'll just jump over and keep running. see what my time is. 3:17. Alright. Okay, so this is just a room with that ball. He's usually pretty easy. He just doesn't do anything. Usually I just try and trap him somewhere or get him into an area where I can push him off a cliff somewhere. He doesn't do anything. I'm just gonna search everything. This is quite the weird building though, if you think about it. All these little platforms everywhere with washroom parts and desks and chairs. Like, it's a really weird building. What's this? Okay, this one's not too bad. Usually. I know there's one room where there's like literally nothing in it. It's just like a passway. It's like an empty room with the ball guy and that's it. So I'm gonna jump when this guy turns, so... Oh! Jump too early. Or too late. Too late. Okay. Timing is everything. There we go. Now, I don't know if this guy's gonna shoot him. Okay, he's a chaser. So I'm just gonna run. If I flip, he'll think I disappeared for a second. It's kind of like fooling him. I'm gonna go to the cigarette machine. I think it's a cigarette machine. It looks like one. I don't know if they make those anymore. I think I gotta put this guy to sleep. Because he'll kill me. There's no way. And I got nothing out of it. Great! What a waste. I don't think they make cigarette machines. At least in where I live, anyways. I've never seen one. Since probably the 80s. I used to see them in like bowling alleys and stuff. They'd have this like vending machine where you can like actually buy cigarettes. Where I am, anyways, the only way you can get cigarettes now is if you ask the person behind the desk or the counter, or you tell them that you want cigarettes, and you have to know what you want. Some of them will have a binder. Oh, shooty. Shoots. That's not good. That's not good at all. Okay. And then, yeah, you pretty much have to know you want cigarettes and what you smoke and all that. I don't smoke, so it's not a big deal to me. Yeah, Rex Warden's like, I haven't seen a cigarette machine since 1988. I think they realize that, you know, kids can just, like, use them and get smokes. Even if they are in places like bowling alleys or bars and stuff. A lot of kids would figure it out, go in there and buy cigarettes. And where I live in Ontario, in Canada. They've become really strict with cigarettes and who's allowed to sell them and how they can put them out on display. They can't even put them on display. Everything has to be behind, underneath the counter. It's amazing people even know that smoking is a thing anymore. Okay, this guy's gonna be really boring. I'm gonna have to like, go slow. Always on the bookshelves. The longest thing to friggin' search. Ah, all that for another lift. Something I don't need. I think this is another case where I have to kind of run and jump a little bit in the middle of the air. Get out of here. This is the passing room. See, there's nothing here. It just lets you go through. There's nothing there to search. Well, at least I have 2 snoozes. So I'm doing pretty good. And I know where Elvin's room is. So, if I can get through this, and I think there's one more elevator shaft after this. If I can get lucky on some of these robots, that will be harmless. Now this guy up here, what he's doing is he's going back and forth, and you don't know how fast he's going to go until he sees you. And when he sees you, he's either going to go really fast, or super slow, or like a medium speed. So let's just hope he goes slow. Okay, he's going slow. That's a good thing. That means I have somewhat of a chance of actually getting that item without having to put him to sleep. So I can jump over here and search, and there's nothing there. Now, if he was going fast, I would have never been able to do it. I just wouldn't have been able to. Oh, Simon Belmondo is asking, does this game have an ending? Absolutely. If you look in the different shafts, there's the second one over from the left. There was a room with a door in it. So once you solve all of the puzzle pieces that you get, and you put them together, you get a code, you go into that room, and you essentially win the game. You disarm his system, the mad bomber guy. You disarm his system, and it's over. You foil his plan. Or you get to the point where you run out of time and you die. Either way, there's an ending. You either win or you die. Okay, so this is a case where this guy at the top here is impossible. There's no way I can get there. I'm going to have to put him to sleep. Right now I'm just trying to get onto that platform. Not getting much luck here. So I don't think I can get up there. Nope. And I just fell to my uncertain death. Here's where learning how to use this guy to cross these levels is important. There we go. Now I have to put him to sleep, that guy on the right there, because there's no way I can get to him. And here's where I mentioned this earlier, that sometimes they put robots, or the robots will materialize in a spot where it's literally impossible to get to. And I got a snooze. Was this the end? I forgot. I don't remember. Let's go up. Nope, one more room. Yeah, this guy. Another trick of getting rid of this ball guy, whatever he is, that black ball thing, is if he touches a robot, they literally like snuff him up into their little nose and kill him. So good tactic is to just like let the ball guy come down and then get eaten by a robot, and he's gone. Don't have to worry about him anymore. Not that he was really a problem. Yeah, Gamester Poet saying you have a whole lot of yes, I have one more elevator shaft to go. I don't know how many rooms are going to be left, but once I complete that, then I can just put the puzzles together. Fall down here, get the candy machine. Nothing here. I think this was the end, so I'm going to go across. Yep. I believe this is the last one. I don't think there's any more. What, there's only one room here? Oh, that's fine. So this should be it. This should be the last room I have to search. Now, it is possible that, say, this room might not have any pieces in it, and I can go and complete it without searching these things, but you don't want to go through all that effort of putting all the puzzle pieces together, only to find out that the one room you left behind has the one piece you need. Because then you'll never finish the game. Search this thing. I think this is a jukebox. At least that's what it kind of looks like. Yeah, this guy shouldn't be too much of a problem. Oh, don't come after me! Okay, maybe he'll be annoying. I'm just gonna have to keep doing my acrobats and running and running and running. Yeah, because he'll keep following you until you get out of his view. Sure, I could snooze him, but he's not impossible to get around, so it just takes a little bit of time of back and forth, a little bit of patience. If you listen to Guns N' Roses, all you need is just a little patience. There we go. Now I think I got everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way back. Maybe I'll take this way. I think this was the passageway. Just like a easy way through. I have to go all the way back to where I started. Because I remember where Elvin's room was. And I know I need a snooze to beat Elvin's room because the robots in there were just too much. Like, they're just in... the way they were shooting and stuff, I couldn't get around them. Let's do this! You also need time on your clock to finish the puzzles. Because that definitely takes some time. Another thing I noticed too was playing the Atari 7800 version, putting the puzzles together was a little more trickier. And I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the color scheme of them or something, or what. I just seemed to have a problem with it. Yay. And I believe I've only beaten this game on the Nintendo Wii once. I think this is the room here. Yep, there it is. So I'm going to put these guys to sleep. Of course, the items take forever to search. Nothing, and... nothing? Nothing. Alright. It's puzzle time. Okay, so... how do I do this? Okay, I think I have to correct them. So I go to this phone thing, and you have two options. Correct orientations, or do we have enough to solve the puzzle? Now, I'm pretty sure I have enough because I think I've gotten everything in the game. So there's no way I'm missing any pieces. So it's going to correct the orientation, which saves me some time. Unfortunately, this takes time off of your actual countdown. So... I think it's worth it because I'll be able to actually complete it without having to mess around with the pieces too much. Otherwise, you have to, like, correct them yourself, and by correcting it, it's like literally rotating the piece to where you think it's going to fit. Oh, wait, going this way. And you can see it's got the little orange bar that tells you that that piece has been corrected. So if you're really going for like a speed game on this and you want to get like the highest score possible, you wouldn't want to do this because it's going to eat up your time. I think every time you use the phone, it eats up a couple of seconds or something like that. I'm noticing when people are saying like Billy O and Rex Warden are like, oh, I haven't heard that tone in a long time. Whether you've even played this game or not, or you just remember back in the days of the dial-up modems, you know, there was a time where to get onto the internet or the bulletin boards or whatever, you would have to use the phone line, dial up. That's pretty much what they're mimicking here. I mean, nowadays they kind of mimic this kind of thing with your cell phones, and you know, have like the standard ringing that we used to have back in the day when we had before touch tone phones. And so I just gotta go through all of the ones I have, and then I gotta start putting them together. Skeuomorphic audio themes. Whatever that means. It's like I remember not long ago watching a video, I think someone posted it on Facebook, of this lady, this kind of grandma that was making fun of her grandkid because she didn't understand what the rotary dial phone was. And if you grew up in the 80s, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Everybody had one. It's that old phone that Bell gave you. Bell gave everybody pretty much a phone when you had a phone line. They had a rotary dial, and you had to like 8, 4, you know. Today kids probably wouldn't even grasp that concept. And it really sucked, because if you got to like say half your phone number and you put the wrong number on, you'd have to hey, there you go. You have to go and do it all again. It was a lot of work to call somebody back then. Not like today. I mean, there's no such thing as redial. Rex is I would use a wrist flick to do it, not a spitting with my finger. But yeah, it was quite the effort to call people back then. I remember in my house we had at least 2 phones that had the rotary dial. And then I think for our kitchen phone we actually had one of those earlier model push button state-of-the-art telephones. We didn't have cordless. There was no such thing as cordless. I mean, well, maybe there was. Only the rich people had cordless. Gamester Poet's like, people died in the time it took to dial 911. Yeah, but if you remember at that time, we didn't really have 911. I don't think 911 came until a little bit later on. You had to dial 0 and get to an operator, and then explain to the operator you had a problem, and then the operator would have to patch you through. Okay, here comes the fun. Okay. Well, let's look for some familiar pieces here. I think usually I can figure out where this thing is. So you just kind of go through and look for pieces that look like they'd fit in there. Ew. It'll tell you if it fits or not. And sometimes it can mislead you. I don't know if that's right. Well, let's just keep going. I used to be really good at this, but I think because I'm out of practice now, I'm kind of falling behind. And sometimes you have to change the color. So you go over here, you got 3 color swatches. I don't know if this will fit here, so I'm going to try it. Okay. I'll look for something that's going to fit in there. No. Sometimes you just hit a dead end. You have to like delete it and start again. Uh-oh. It's not a good thing. Oh wait. Hold on a sec. That looks like it might be it. Let's change it yellow. Sweet. Okay, so I got my first piece done. And I got a T. Usually it's like swordfish or crocodile or something. I always try to match up the corners. Yeah, that's usually where I look too. I look in the corners. Some are just really like obvious shapes. Like you see here, there's like a triangle there and there's a triangle there. So then I don't think that that and that are going to jive. So I don't know about that piece. Wait a minute. I wonder. Let's just see if this piece here will fit with this. Hey, it did. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna look for something that has these kind of like 2 triangular pieces, or 3 triangular, and something that has like that kind of thing that would make a square or rectangular piece in there. Nope, nope. Let's just look for something that's triangles everywhere. That. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna. Oh, maybe. Oh, right there. Alright. Okay, so I think I've noticed some things that have this kind of, this shape in there, the blank space. I think I've noticed something that's had that. Is it this? Again, you know, you almost have to play this game a lot to get used to doing this. You get used to the different shapes. I wonder if that fits there. It did. Okay. And so I'm just looking for that piece there. Once I find it, you see, this is why you have to do that thing with the phone, where it orientates them. Otherwise, the piece could be upside down, and you'd have to actually flip it around. Oh, right, we got nostalgic for the 70s and 80s just popped into the chat. Yeah, we were talking about that too. The 7800 being impossible. It's a shame. I mean, it is a shame. I've never seen the end of the 7800, even though I know that it was corrected for the PAL version. I still have not seen what the ending looks like. It has to be somewhere. I mean, maybe you can emulate it somewhere. Alright, so maybe this piece doesn't exist. Because I'm not seeing it. Which means I might have to, like, delete this and start again. Yeah, okay, so this was a dead end. So there's a trash can here where you can delete it. Gamester Poet's asking how many pieces do I have. I'm pretty sure I have every single piece. I'm pretty sure I've gotten everything from all the rooms. Yeah, there is a fixed NTSC version of this game. No, I think John Hancock, if you watch John Hancock's videos, I think he has one. I remember watching a video where he was talking about prototypes for the 7800 or for the Atari or something, and he had one that was a completed version of the or a fixed version of the of this game for the 7800 anyways. Is this the one that I... Oh. Hmm. But it's not like... I think it's like a homebrew, or it's a fix of it, or a hack. And it's kind of rare. It's hard to come by. It's not something you're going to find out in the wild. Oh, you know what? This piece... I think this piece here fits up with that one here. Alright. Now I just have to figure out what goes with it. I'm going to take this one out because I think maybe these two go together. Yeah, if anybody finds the fixed version of this game anywhere, it'd be interesting to play it on the Atari 7800. At least the ROM of it. What? Uh-oh. Did I screw this up again? Pretty certain I have all the pieces. Crud. Alright. That's the problem. Once you start... I don't know if this... No, that's the rotate. Okay, let's see if I can complete this piece. Did I miss any rooms at the bottom? That's a good question. I don't think I did, but... I mean, I might have. We'll find out if I can only get so far and I can't complete it. Right now I'm looking for these pieces here. Well, maybe it'll fit. Let's try it. Now that I'm looking at it, I might have missed something. Oh wait, that's it there. I find that sometimes it does look a little bit different. It can throw you off. There we go. Okay, so. Alright. Let's see where this can go. Because I'll notice there's like this arrow, these like arrowy shapes here and there. So things like this will fit there. So green. This could be it. I think I've seen this piece before. It really does suck when you do miss a room, because then you have to kind of rush around looking for that one room you missed. Thought I had this piece somewhere. There it is. Green. UT something something something. Okay, let's try this. So it's going to be could that be it? Oh yeah, butterfly. Yeah, B-U-T-T. Yeah, that's right, butterfly. Look for that L That kind of L-y shape at the bottom. There we go. Green. Okay. And that's you there. It gets easier as you complete more and more because less of the pieces are in the puzzle. I think I should be able to figure this out. Oops. Oh, right. No, I already used that. Oopsie. I think that might be it. Oops. Green. Always have to keep changing the color thing because all the colors have to be the same. Okay, so we got that. Now I know I've seen this pattern a few times. I don't know if that's it there. No. That's probably it. That L-shaped thing. Am I missing that piece? Uh-oh. This ain't good. Because if I'm missing it, I'm going to have to run around looking for it. Oh wait. That's right there. And that's right there. So I need B and F. So this thing here. Okay, well I'm going to have to delete this, and by default all of these should fit together, so it's only going to be if I'm missing something. I think that's it. I think that's it. Success! Alright, so the code is butterfly. It's funny how you actually have to complete the code. Like, you can't just wing it. Not a chance. Okay, let's go and meet Alvin, shall we? It's just up here.
No. 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 Mission accomplished. Congratulations.
Thank you. And that was it. After all that, you go to this and you put in your pass, or you put in your high score name, and it's over. It's funny, on my Commodore 64 I still have my original disc, and I can see all of my past scores and you know, the names I put in there, and you know, the different kinds of, I didn't always put my own name, I always put like different things. It's kind of funny when you go back and you complete the game and you're like, oh my god. Yeah, that was it. That was and I think when I did my other, I did a video on this a while ago on Impossible Mission for Commodore 64, and I completed it then as well, but I kind of did a cut because I didn't want to put the whole thing in one video. It would have taken too long. So I kind of, like, you know, played a bit and then kind of paused the video, edit it and kind of cut it, and then just showed the end. But yeah, that was fun, and I was glad I was able to actually complete it and not screw up. It's been a while, so yeah, Gamester Poet, congrats, not so impossible. Part 2 is a different beast, though, and I don't know if I don't know if the last time I ever actually completed Part 2. Probably when I was a kid and I had it on the Commodore. Well, I borrowed my friends from on the Commodore 64, and I've completed it once on the Nintendo, where I just continuously played it and played it. I think I'm trying to remember if the Nintendo had save feature, because I don't think the Commodore did. Now, obviously, on the emulator you can do save states and stuff like that, but I think on the Commodore you actually had to like grind through it to complete it, and it's kind of a harder game. A lot more going on, a little bit more trickier. Did you ever play the remake for PS2? Thrift Bites just threw in there. No, but I do have the Wii version, which I think is made by the same company, and it's the same thing. It's got the 2 extra characters in there, and then it's got like a classic mode and a graphically changed mode. Actually pretty cool. I had to order it though from Europe. I couldn't find it down here, so. But yeah, using the Wiimote, like I said, was a little bit tricky. For the when I was doing the puzzle piece thing and using that tablet thing, you had to use the Wiimote and point at the screen. A little bit tricky, a little bit harder to do. So, yeah. Oh well. I'm glad everybody was able to come in on the chat, and this went a little bit longer than I hoped it would. It's almost 11 o'clock my time, which means it's bedtime. Yay. I gotta get up for work. Fun. Anyways, I just want to say thanks to all the people that came into the chat. Let's see, we got Gamester Poet there, Nostalgic for the 70s and 80s, Thrift Bites, Simon Balmundo, Billy O, Rex Warden. Who else came in? Let me just scroll up here. Odd Pod was in for a bit. Jacob Downey. C64 Television. Josh Rainwater. So a lot of cool people in the chat. It was great having you stop by. Not sure what I'm going to play next time, but this was fun. Catching up on some great Commodore 64 games. I just had to take a break from the Zelda thing. I know I have to continue on with my Zelda 2. I'm on the very last level, or last palace thing, so hopefully I can complete that. And, I don't know. It's been a long time since I completed Zelda 2, so it'd be great to see if I could actually do it live. Anyways, thanks for coming into the chat. Thanks for watching the video. If you want, you can leave some comments below after it's done doing its thing on YouTube. And we'll see you on the next live stream. I got my next video coming up soon. And, well, tomorrow. I actually just came up with a new video today that I think I'm going to launch tomorrow. So that should be fun. So watch out for that. And I'll see you on the next stream and video.